Alright, I think we're good. Alright, we're returning some frames here. Alrighty. Let's see. Alright, looks like the connection is stabilizing now. Alright, hopefully this can maintain. Alrighty. Let me see. Just check something here. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, well, hopefully the Wi-Fi will maintain here, but yeah, let's go ahead and get this show started. We are back again for our hardcore Nuzlocke attempt that we've been doing here in Pokemon Run&Bun. And we are finally at the point where we can take on the Elite Four and see if I can win my attempt at this game. It's taken quite a while, but I'm excited to be able to get this done. Let me see, my save file at this point, 280 hours, so. Yeah, I am excited to get this started here, so... appreciate you, bub. Alright, so we're about to get started here with the Elite Four. So for those people who don't know what Pokemon Run&Bun is, it's a hardcore. It is a custom-made version of Pokemon Emerald, designed to make it as challenging as possible. And I've been doing a hardcore Nuzlocke, which basically, if a Pokemon faints in battle, I can no longer use it. And if all of my Pokemon faint in a single battle, the run is over. So I've already sunk hundreds of attempts into this game, and some more that I've streamed. But yeah, this has been a fun game, very rewarding, and hopefully we can come out of this Elite Four successful. I do have it fully prepped. It's not riskless, so we're gonna need to get some luck at certain points. But at this point, I'm willing to let it ride. It's William, I see you there. Alright, so before we get started, I need to prep my team a little bit first. So the first thing I gotta do is use up the remaining heart scales that I have to maximize some IVs and then change one of my natures. So go ahead and do that here. So first thing, I'm going to change the nature of my Primarina to a modest nature. So let's see here. Modest plus special attack minus attack. So modest on Lana Del Rey, yep. so we did that. Low Rug. Appreciate that comment, bro. Much love. Appreciate you chatting. Hope you're having a good day today. Alright, so... And then with the remaining heart scales I have, I should have 4 more left. Let me see. 5 more left. Yeah. So, for these last few that I have, I'm gonna maximize some IVs. So, first one is I'm gonna maximize my Hydreigon's HP stats. And appreciate the comments, you guys. Appreciate you having y'all in here. All right, so next one is the Lissapod. I also need to maximize his HP stats. Next one is maximizing my Gliscor's speed stats. So speed. And then the final two I'm also using for my Primarina. So I will be maximizing her HP stat as well. So HP. And then last scale to use for Primarina's special defense stat. So go down, special defense. Perfect. Alright, so that should be all my heart scales that I had left. So, let's see, our shoulder IVs here. We got Timid Nature. I used heart scales for this Hydreigon earlier to change his nature to Timid in the Maxi 2 fight. We should have 31 and 31. Good. Let's see, Hasty Nature. I used... this Sneasler was caught with a Hasty Nature, and I used heart scales on its attack and speed stats. This Gliscor, really crazy catch. I caught it as an Adamant Nature with crazy IVs. So, I got that. Lana Del Rey, the Primarina. I used a bunch of skills on her as well, so the Modest Nature, the HP and Spadef, and then I used for defense and speed earlier as well. And then Dark type Urshifu with Adamant Nature that I used scales to change, and then came with some ridiculous IVs. So, all right, and then I have 2 rare candies left to use to get 2 Mons to level 100. Those are gonna be Sneasler and Gliscor. Alright. So let's go to the actual Pokemon League here. And then, before we walk in, I need to do some important pre-statusing and pre-damaging. Which, technically you're allowed to do before you enter the Elite Four, but once you enter in, you cannot change your statusing or pre-damaging outside of using healing items and poison. So that's what we're going to be doing here. Let me see. So for pre-damaging and pre-statusing, we need our Hydreigon and Glacia needs to be pre-toxic. I'm gonna use the Lewis script to do that, so pre-toxic 1. And pre-toxic 2. It's... Appreciate you guys. And then, Primarina, I'm gonna have to be regular poisoned, not toxic, so. Let me do that here. We poison number 5. Cool. And then Gliscor, I'm gonna bring in at a starting HP of 254. So let's do that here. Let's see. 4th slot. 254 HP. Alright, so that should be good. Yeah, I use the Lewis script to do these, but I'm not going to be using the Lewis script once I'm inside the Elite Four in between any of the fights, so keeps it legitimate. But yeah, I think that's all the prep I need to do. Let me just check I have enough healing items here. Yeah, we got a bunch of max potions. And we still got tons of berries for all the different statuses. So we should be good. Alright. No turning back here. And let me just run through everything one last time here. Let's see. Looks good. Good. Let's see. Alright, perfect. Alright. Let's go and do this here. Beyond this point, only trainers who have collected all the gym badges are permitted to enter. Trainer, let us confirm that you have all the gym badges. Believe yourself in your Pokemon. Alright. Let's go ahead and do this here. Alright. So we got Sidney first up here. So in this game, for the Elite Four, the way it's designed is that for each of the 4 fights, you can decide to do either as singles or as a double battle. But 2 of them have to be single and 2 of them have to be double. And what I'm going to attempt to do is to do the one that has been done the least, which is the first 2 as singles and the second 2 as double battles. So yeah, this would be very cool if I could. I mean, at this point, I might as well. I could have gone with the other ways of doing the battles, like the first 2 as double battles. But if I'm here, I might as well try to do road less traveled, I guess. So, all right. Before I start this fight with Sidney, I need to walk until Glacia is at 204 HP. So right now he is at 285. So I need to walk. Actually, let me triple check that HP one last time here. Making sure I'm doing it with the right ranges. 143 plus 61. Okay, so actually, I actually have to be at, yeah, 204. That's right. So 285 minus 204. I need to walk 81 more toxic steps. So might take a little bit, but this is important for the game plan to work. So we'll count this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, Andrew, what's up, bro? Haven't seen you in a while, man. Appreciate having you back in the stream. Hope you've been doing well. Glad to have you here. Yeah. Glad you can come in and catch me do the Elite Four here. Let's see. 1, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 9, 50. 52, 53, 54, 55, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81. Alright. Perfect, 204. So, Glacia is at the right HP. I can heal up Hydreigon and Primarina back to full. and then equip their items. So let's see, medicine, max potion for Hydreigon, and for Marina. Oh, you registered for LA Regionals show? That is pretty exciting. When is that gonna be happening? Is it like in the summer or in a couple months? So oh, that's cool. Sounds like it would be a fun time. Alright, so for let's see, for Hydreigon needs Choice Scarf. Eject Pack I need to give to Sneasler. Soft Sand goes to Gliscor. Citrus Berries for both Felicipod and for Marina. And then Choice Band for Urshifu. Alright. That should be everything. My notes here. Yeah, 254. Alright. Alright, let's start off with Sidney as a single battle. Welcome, Challenger. I'm Sidney of the Elite Four. Let me explain the rules. You will face 4 of the greatest trainers in the region. To truly test your battling skills, we require a balance of 2 single and 2 double battles. You're free to choose which members to battle in each style. I like that look you're giving me. I guess you'll give me a good match. That's good. Looking real good. So, tell me, what's it gonna be? So, Sidney, let's do singles. Alright, so to start off, Sidney singles, he leads a Greninja here. And the reason why the single battle is can be more annoying than the doubles is that this Greninja is holding a Focus Sash, and it has both spikes and toxic spikes. And it's almost impossible to prevent it from setting up hazards without specific checks, which with my team layout I don't really have, so what I'm going to do is, with a Choice Scarf, I can outspeed the Greninja and KO with 2 Draco Meteors. And it's gonna go for like 50-50 for either spikes or toxic spikes. Technically, toxic spikes would be more ideal here, but it shouldn't matter whichever one it goes for. However, in this game, it's not always guaranteed to set up a hazard. There is a very, very, very small chance that instead it attacks turn 1. Which is like less than a 0.5% chance in this case. But if that does happen, Greninja will attack me, and that's gonna completely ruin my line. And we'll have to immediately start steering. So if we see him set up one of the hazards, then we're perfectly fine. So we'll start off with 1 Draco here. Oh. And let's see. Okay, toxic spikes, good. That is the more preferred one. Nice. we'll take a turn of Toxic ourselves. Alright, and then another Draco Meteor will KO. Alright. Greninja down. Next up should always be his Urshifu. Perfect. Yeah, so he has a single strike Urshifu as well. And he comes in because he sees a KO guaranteed with close combat. So what we're going to do is I have my Golisopod pre-damaged so that I'll always trigger an emergency exit on the incoming close combat. So, and then that'll allow us then to get another free switch. So we'll go Golisopod here. There's a close combat. Citrus Berry is just for some insurance here. So emergency exit. Perfect. And now I'm gonna bring in Sneasler for free. Yep. So that was the reason why Toxic Spikes were ideal, because since my Primarina is regular poisoned, if your Mon is regular poisoned but then lands on a Toxic Spike, you become badly poisoned, which would be really bad for my Primarina. But because Sneasler is a grounded poison type, I absorb the Toxic Spikes, so that allows Primarina to stay as a normal poison. So from here now, Sneasler outspeeds, and with the defense drop, we can just one-shot with a close combat. And I am holding the eject pack, which allows you to immediately switch if any of your stats decrease. So we'll get the KO with close combat, we'll eject pack out to get another free switch. Oh, nice crit. Not necessary. So Urshifu goes down. Emergency pack activates. And now we're going to bring in Gliscor, which should always be baiting in Yveltal. Perfect. Alright, and this Yveltal is the scariest part of this team because of what I need to do to take it out. So right now, with Gliscor out, it sees that its highest damaging move is always Dark Pulse. So it'll always go for that over its other moves. So that is the better move for me to swap into my Primarina on. Now, this is the riskiest part of this fight. I basically need to 1v1 this Yveltal with Draining Kisses and try to out-heal it. Majority of the time, we do win the 1v1. However, if we get crit once or twice, Primarina can't get KO'd, which would completely ruin the rest of our lines. So, I'm going to swap in Primarina. If it gets a crit with the Dark Pulse here, that's okay because I have a Citrus Berry for some extra HP. But we really, really do not want to see any crits outside of that. So, Lana Del Rey, let's see you clutch up. Let's not see any crits here. So Dark Pulse. Perfect. Alright, again, my Primarina is regular poisoned, not toxic poisoned. So it's always a set amount of damage each turn. Now, We really, really do not want to see any crits from here, because now it's going to start just using Oblivion Wing. Which does quite a amount of damage, but on average, we always out-damage and out-heal with Draining Kisses. So, yeah. Would really, really love not to see a crit here. Okay, good. Alright. We have a Citrus Berry for some extra heal. That's gonna help a lot. Alright. Good. That looks like a pretty good high roll. Alright. So we're just gonna play this dance. It's gonna keep using Oblivion Wing. I'm gonna keep using Draining Kisses until hopefully eventually Veltal goes down. Again, from this point, it's gonna take on average about 4 more turns to take this thing out with all the healing that's gonna happen. So, Lana Del Rey, I really need you to keep holding. We go for another Draining Kiss. Perfect. No crit. Alright, that was more of a lower roll. Should take about 3 more turns. We're doing good. Come on. Nice. Come on. Let's keep going. Alright, I think it's 2 more turns now. Please don't crit. Don't crit, please. Okay. We need a high roll here. Come on, please. Okay. Okay. Alright. One more should do it. But we're gonna be really low. I think this is gonna mess up our baiting here. But we need to... Let me see. Yeah. We are pretty low on HP here. We got some low rolls on those Draining Kisses. This is gonna change our baiting order. Let's see, is there any way that I can maneuver around this? Yeah, because I think after this last Draining Kiss, I'll be baiting a Necrozma instead of Yveltal. If that happens, I still 1v1 with Hydreigon, but then I would need to swap through for the for the Nidoking. Let's see. I could try pivoting through Hydreigon. And then, because I outspeed with Draco, but I don't think that's worth it. The Oblivion Wing just does too much damage. Yeah, I need to play this one out. Alright, one more crit needs to dodge. Let me see. Right now... Crit always kills us. So we just need to live a crit. Come on. No crit, please. Come on. Yes! Okay. That should be enough damage. Come on. KO with the training kits, please. Yes! Let's go! Woo! Okay. Primarina helped through. Whew, okay. Alright, but this should always be now Necrozma. Alright, so originally I was intending at this point for the Nidoking to come in, but because we're too low, the Necrozma sees a fast KO first. So we're gonna have to steer a little bit. Let's see, right now it is guaranteed. I am at 73 HP. It is guaranteed Photon Geyser, because, so this thing has Stealth Rocks, but because it's faster and it sees a KO, it can't use Stealth Rocks on the first turn, which is actually really nice for us. So what this allows us to do is we can get a perfect switch back into our Hydreigon to be immune to the incoming Photon Geyser. So we're gonna go to Hydreigon here. Perfect. Alright, and then now we can just outspeed and KO with 2 Dark Pulses, as it's most likely gonna try to set up Stealth Rocks again, or attack with most likely Heat Wave. But 2 Dark Pulses will always do the trick here. So, go for 1 Dark Pulse. Let's see a flinch. Oh! Big flinch! System of a down. Big plays. Love to see it. Alright, and then even after leftovers, a second Dark Pulse will always KO. And we don't have Stealth Rocks up, which is actually really nice. Alright. So Necrozma goes down. This should always be Nidoking next. Yeah. Alright, so Nidoking comes in here. This thing is also a huge demon. It's Sheer Force Life Orb. Crazy damage. So, let's see. We are 141 HP. Which means... Let's see, it's... Right now it's a 50-50 between Sludge Wave and Ice Beam. See, that's not the best combination. But thankfully, because of Sheer Force, Ice Beam and Sludge Wave can't status. So I think the best pivot here is trying to pivot through Sneasler. Or... Let me see. Yeah, because Golisopod takes way too much damage from Sludge Wave. And because it's Sheer Force, I don't activate Emergency Exit, even if I survive. Yeah, I think... Yeah, because if I swap in Gliscor on an Ice Beam, I'm just immediately dead. So... Yeah, I think I need to first swap to Sneasler. Which I think will... Well, first we would have to live a crit, I believe. Ice Beam. Yeah. If it's Ice Beam... Some rolls of crit KO. But this will allow a lesser chance of Ice Beam from Nidoking. So... Okay, this is still very scary. Ideally, we see Sludge Wave here from Nidoking. Alright. Amy Lee, I need you to hold. Alright, Ice Beam, don't crit. Okay. Okay, good. It's... Alright, 59 HP. Alright, so now it's about a 29% chance between Sludge Wave, Earth Power, and Ice Beam, and then a 14% chance at Dark Pulse. This is the best odds we're gonna get here. We just need no Ice Beam. If we get Ice Beam, we lose. Alright, come on, Sting! One time, no Ice Beam. Come on, let's go. No Ice Beam, please! Oh, no! Oh! Oh, no. Dang it. Oh, man. That's it. That's over. We lost. Yeah. Yep. Nidoking was our counter for this. Oh, man. Well. We came very close. I gave it the best odds I could have gone. It was only 20% chance for Ice Beam there. Man, we were so close. If we had just not gone that Ice Beam, we would have won this fight. Oh, man. That's disappointing. Well. I don't even think I can... I mean, I might as well just try to KO the Nidoking from here, I guess. We'll finish this fight out, but it's basically over. Yeah, so we can go Hydreigon. Get off a Draco Meteor and die. And then finish the rest with Urshifu. Yeah. Yeah, so Draco Meteor. This deals 70% min. Sacrifice. And Urshifu can take the rest from here. And then, lastly, it's just a Mega Gyarados, which we outspeed. And need to dodge a crit if we want to KO with close combat. We beat Sidney, but... Luke, no, those deaths were not planned. Yeah, I basically, it's unwinnable. It's basically unwinnable at this point. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yep. I mean, I did the best I could. I'm sad I couldn't get this run much further, but... I mean, I'll play it out, but... we're not gonna be able to get past Phoebe from here. Because we needed both Hydreigon and Glacia score for the next fight too. Yeah, because I don't even know how I'm beating this Crobat. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, what can I do here? Let me see. I could try... Here, I'll try this. Let me heal up everyone back to full here. Yeah, can't use them. Not for this challenge. Let me see. Alright, we're gonna try something here. Let me get, Let me see. I could start with Primarina, try to survive an acrobatics crit, flip turn into Felicipod, get a Sucker Punch, emergency exit into Urshifu, but then I don't have any way to deal with the Marshadow. Yeah. Nah, it's like there's nothing I can do. Let's see. Alright, so let's go Mystic Water on Primarina. Let's go Citrus Berry on Golisopod. Let's go Choice. Let's see. Choice Band to Sneasler. Choice Scarf to Shifu. Alright, and then we'll put Prim up front. Well, we're gonna sail. This is a sinking ship, but we're gonna stay on the ship as it sinks. Yeah, I think this is the best I could. I mean, this is not gonna work, but I can at least attempt something here. Let me actually see something here really quick. 15.6 plus 19.5 plus 68.4. Yeah, 35.1 plus 68.4. See, actually that is enough without Mystic Water. So I could actually try giving Citrus Berry to Prim instead. Alright, this is our Hail Mary. Let's see, or actually, should I use Choice Scarf for Marina? Let me see. Choice Scarf. No, it doesn't outspeed. Let's see. We'll go for it. Yes. Might as well. Alright, so let's try this, Phoebe. Heal up before you fight. We wanted to do singles again, so I haven't looked at doubles at all. I'm not even gonna look at that. So we'll just start with singles. Alright, so the reason why I needed Hydreigon is because of this freaking Crobat here. This Crobat is the worst part of the Phoebe singles team. Let me actually scroll down so I could show you guys. Yeah, so, because this thing has Flying Gem Acrobatics with Hypnosis. And it's really fast. So, the plan was originally to get some damage off with Hydreigon with a Draco Meteor. We would always have lived a Acrobatics, and then we could have swapped to Golisopod, which would have always lived in Acrobatics without the Flying Gem to get it a emergency exit into Shifu for the KO here. But instead, what I'm going to do, we're going to go for a slow flip turn to deal some damage. And I guess not get crit here. It's... Alright, that wasn't a crit, but that was a pretty high roll, so... Alright, so we'll flip turn. And we'll go to Golisopod. And then now, because both Primarina and Golisopod are status, he can't use Hypnosis. And he's used his Flying Gem up now, so now Golisopod can always live a non-boosted Acrobatics. And I will hit with a Sucker Punch to deal some more damage before I go down. I'll always live, but I'll trigger Emergency Exit. And hopefully we get a low roll here. Let's see a low roll. Okay. Do we get heal? Let's get it. Do we get above half health here? Oh, we are above half health. We could get a second emergency exit potentially. All right, so we can go to Shifu now. And at this point, with the Choice Scarf, we can outspeed, and with that damage, we should be able to now take it out with a Wicked Blow. So Crobat goes down, and this always baits in Marshadow. Oh, this is Lunala. Why is it Lunala? That's weird. Yeah, I should show fast KO, so... And... why would that be Lunala? That's strange. Well... it's... we do have a 50% chance of one-shotting with, Wicked Blow. We could run it. It also has a 40% chance of going for Meteor Beam instead of Moonblast. So we could try for that. Wu-Tang, you got it in you? Can you hit a 50-50? Okay, alright. We hit the roll. Lunata down. Now this should always be Marshadow. Yeah, Marshadow here should always see a KO with close combat. So we could actually get a emergency exit off through Golisopod since we got above half health there. And then I guess probably trying to... let me see. See, actually, since the Lunala's dead, it's guaranteed close combat. So I can emergency exit through Glacia, come back in, and then at -1 defense, I have an 87.5% chance of KO. So we're actually alive here somehow. So yeah, let's go back to Glacia. Yep, there's a close combat. We get another emergency exit, it lowers its defenses. We can go back to Urshifu. Let me see, how many Wicked Blows do I have left? I have 3. 1. Let's see. Oh, well. So the thing is, though, is that I don't have enough Wicked Blows to KO the rest of the team from here. I would have to try to use something else. Let me see. Let's see, Primarina. We could potentially out-heal it with Draining Kisses since it's at -1 SPDF. But, let's see, Primarina is at 164. After poison damage... Let's see, poison damage on this is 37. 164 minus 37. It's 127. We would just barely be outside of killing rolls from Shadow Sneak or close combat. We'd be dead to crit, but we can out-heal it with the Draining Kisses. We could try that. It's... So I think Primarina is actually the play here. And hope we don't get crit. Alright. By the way, I really appreciate everyone who's watching right now. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not going to be a winning attempt, but I appreciate y'all watching with me anyways. Alright, so we're never dead to crit. I mean, we're never dead to normal rolls. We're only dead to crit. And we should be able to out-heal with Draining Kisses. Yeah, shows Shadow Sneak. No crit one time. Okay, okay. Alright, that's a lot of heals. Okay. We can go for another Draining Kiss here. Let's see, actually... we should go for... yeah, because we want to bait in... Zoroark next. I think we should always be able to. Yeah, we can go for another Draining Kiss here. Ramses, it's because my Gliscor died to an Ice Beam on Sidney, and then I had to sacrifice my Hydreigon, so... and I needed those two alive to do the rest of this Elite Four, so... it's basically over at this point, but we're still alive in this fight somehow. I have no idea how. Yeah, another Draining Kiss KOs here. Nice. No crits. Alright, this should always be Zoroark. Yeah, this looks like a Gengar, but it's not. This is a Hisuian Zoroark. And let's see, I am at 72. Okay, so we're actually outside of U-turn range, which is crazy. So it's either gonna go for a Shadow Ball or Grass Knot. If it goes for Grass Knot or Shadow Ball and doesn't crit, we actually win this fight. It's funnily enough. So we're gonna swap to Sneasler. Amy Lee, you still got it in you? Grass Knot? Okay. It's... Oh my goodness. And now we can just, with a Choice Band, sweep the rest of this team with knockoffs. Well, actually, we don't sweep the Gengar, but because it outspeeds us, but... Yeah, Gothitelle comes in. It has Shadow Tag, but we outspeed in one shot as well. And then lastly is the real Gengar. But unfortunately, this is Mega Gengar, and it is faster than my... It is faster than my... Sneasler after Mega Evolving. So... But right now it's not Shadow Tag yet. So I can swap to Urshifu. But it does have a 20% chance of using Destiny Bond. If that happens, then we're dead. If not, we can come out of this alive. So, Wu-Tang, what you got? What you got in you? There's the Mega. Let's see, no Destiny Bond. Oh, it's... It didn't happen. We outspeed in one shot with a Choice Scarf and KO with Wicked Blow. Well, we beat Phoebe somehow. Well, this is, yeah, well, I think we could also beat, I think we could also beat Glacia too, because, I wasn't planning on using, either Gliscor or Hydreigon for this fight. So we could actually do this fight according to plan. That's funny. Here, let me save first in case of any crashes though. Glacia doubles. I already did the first two as singles. So let me see. Let me heal up let's heal up these guys first. And then for this fight specifically, we are leading... Let's see... Urshifu and Primarina. And we need them at a specific HP, which is why I have them both free. Yeah, I had a really good... Man, I took a long time. I had a really good plan for Drake. I think I had a riskless line for doubles Drake. But that's not going to be possible now. Without Hydreigon, because I needed Tailwind. To be able to do it, so... Yeah. I wish I could have showed that off, but it's fine. Alright, so we can heal these two to full, then I will get them to a specific HP. Alright, so for these two, we need Prim at 134. We heal Galissapod to full and then walk 28 more ticks. So... yeah, we can speed through. I'll speed up a little bit. Yeah, because it'll take a while. Yeah, I'll do that. I have some revives, so I could show off how I was intending on doing it. That's a good point. Let's see, we need... Yeah, Prim, we need first get down to 134 HP. Yeah. So, a little bit more. For those of you who are not sure, this is Pokemon Run&Bun. Alright, 156. Let's see. 55, 54, 53, 52, 51. 50. 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43. 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34. Cool. So now we heal up Galissapod to full. And we walk 28 more ticks. Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Alright, so we should be at 106 for Primarina and 260 on Galissapod. Perfect. Alright, so now for our items, we need Dark Gem on Urshifu. let's get that. Yeah, and this should be a riskless line as well. So Dark Gem to Urshifu. Yeah, so yeah, the poison there was on purpose to allow me to walk in the overworld to get to a specific HP, which allows me to bait specific moves from the opponent's side. Yeah. Let me see. We need Iron Ball on Primarina. And we need, let's see, Choice Band on Sneasler. I think he's already choice banded. Yeah. Cool. Alright, so, and then, for Golisopod, I'm giving a Jaboka Berry. Alright. So, and that should be everything we need. Dark Gem, 106, Iron Ball, Choice Band, and our Fallen Comrades. Yeah, I came up with these strategies. Slime Master. Yep, I get to show off my Glacia double strategy here, which, from what I calc, should be perfectly riskless. And a pretty easy fight. It should be done in 4 turns. So, let's do this here. Alright, Glacia, let's do a doubles here. Alright. So, Glacia doubles. Her whole gimmick is Magearna is gonna want to set up Trick Room. Which allows for a lot of very slow mons on her team to be faster and deal crazy damage. However, if you show that you're slower, and the enemy always sees a KO, they always prioritize a KO over setting up Trick Room. So, at this HP, and with an Iron Ball equipped, I'm slower than both of the Magearna and the Crabominable. And I'm showing a KO from Magearna with always Flash Cannon, and Crabominable with sometimes Ice Hammer, majority of the time Close Combat. So I'm baiting attacks from both sides. The Magearna here, I'm going to be attacking with first a Close Combat. To first deal some damage. And I will swap both. I'll swap into Golisopod on both incoming attacks. It'll always guarantee emergency exit, and the Jaboka Berry will proc on the Crabominable to break its Focus Sash. So, we're gonna see both attacks going into Golisopod here. So we close combat once. We use, yep, there's the Flash Cannon. Perfect. And then here's a close combat. So we proc the Jaboka Berry on the Abominable, breaking its Focus Sash. Perfect. And then we emergency exit. And we can now bring in Sneasler for free. And then from here, we can go ahead and let's see, do I have enough PP? I should have enough PP here, yeah. So we'll close combat KO the Magearna with Urshifu, and we'll lock Sneasler into close combat and KO the Crabominable. So Crabominable goes down. Soul Heart activates, doesn't matter. Because we outspeed and KO. Alright, so Magearna and Crabominable go down. Now from here, Glacia is going to bring in the two Mons that Urshifu and Sneasler don't show a KO on. Which in this case should always be Porygon 2 and Calyrex Ice. So we should see those two come in next. Yep, Porygon 2. Download doesn't matter here. And Calyrex, perfect. So these two come in. Urshifu can't KO the Porygon, and Sneasler can't KO the Calyrex. However, they KO each other's opponents. So, from here, a Dark Gem boosted Wicked Blow always one-shots Calyrex Ice. And a Choice Banded Close Combat always one-shots Porygon 2. So Porygon 2 goes down. And Wicked Blow, Dark Gem boosted, goes for the KO here. Alright, so now this just leaves the last two. Obama Snow. Sets up Snow Warning. Perfectly fine. Kyurem comes in. And then again, one more close combat always KOs Obama Snow from Urshifu. And a banded close combat always one-shots the Kyurem here. Alright. And that is Phoebe doubles. As intended. Riskless. Alright. We made it this far. However, Drake is going to destroy us from here. So, yes, now we're forced to do Drake as a doubles, which is the hardest out of all the Elite Four fights. Either singles or doubles, widely considered. And I did kind of mess myself up a little bit. I was not supposed to heal Sneasler to full, as part of my intended plan, so that kind of sucks, but I mean, I can... Okay, what could I do here? Yeah, there's like without Hydreigon Tailwind, this fight is impossible basically. So yeah, unfortunately, since I needed Caesar slightly pre-damage so that Dragapult guarantee always goes for Dragon Darts, but I guess I just gotta risk that turn 1. It's at full health it's only 41% chance at Dragon Darts and 46% chance at Reflect. 11% chance at Light Screen. So I think I could do at least the first few turns. Let me see. Yeah, the Charizard are just gonna mess me up. I don't know how to work around that. Yeah, let me show off the doubles for... Yeah, so you guys can see why this fight is so freaking hard. It's a Dragapult lead with a Focus Sash and screens with a Suicune, Max Defense Bulk with Tailwind and Calm Mind. And then a Charizard with also Tailwind, and Salamence also with Tailwind. Just a disgusting combination. Well, I guess I just gotta go with what I intended so far. With at least the first few turns. Yeah, for this fight... I needed Gliscor alive to do the baiting successfully. Yeah, you take a look at that team, and it's impossible without a full team. Let me see. Yeah, because I needed Gliscor alive so I could bait Scald from Suicune. So that it doesn't set up Tailwind. But... yeah. I can't have Primarina pre-damaged. Yeah, Joel, this is definitely impossible. Right now, this is my PB. Glacia doubles would be my PB at this point, but yeah, so for those of you guys who are just joining in, on Sidney singles, what ended up happening was I had to 1v1 the Yveltal with my Primarina using Draining Kiss, but its HP got too low, which baited in the Necrozma instead of Nidoking. So I had to swap around, and I needed to swap in Gliscor on not an Ice Beam, which was only a 28% chance, but it ended up rolling the Ice Beam. So that basically killed this attempt. If that didn't happen, we could have been perfectly fine up to this point. So. Yeah. I think all I can really do at this point... Let me see. I could maybe, if, I do roll the dragon darts, basically I need Dragapult to not set up screens. And from there, the problem is that the key strategy for this fight was Tailwind on Hydreigon, but I don't think none of the other guys I have left alive can learn Tailwind. It's literally the two that are dead are the ones that can learn Tailwind. Well, I guess I could heal up, instead of switching into Golisopod, I can leave it in and try to get a Sucker Punch off, or First Impression before, yeah. So, I think this is what we can do. We'll do this. But we also need a bait Scald. And I don't really have a way of doing that cleanly. At this point, I was planning on sacking Gliscor in this fight. So I needed at least Hydreigon left alive after this fight, so that was my original plan. But yeah. Well, I'm gonna heal Premier back to full and heal her of her poison. For Golisopod, yeah, the only way I could bait Scald, I can guarantee Scald from this Suicune is if Golisopod, I would have to sacrifice Golisopod in order to make it work. So, yeah, I mean, I could attempt that. That would guarantee either Dragon Darts or a Shadow Ball from the Dragapult. Yeah, so we can try that. We need... Let's see. So I guess now... I would need to Choice Scarf Urshifu to make this work. Yeah. I mean, I'm deliberating so much, but it's I don't have a chance here. Yeah. Maybe if my Urshifu was jolly, but that was not part of my intended plan. Okay. We're gonna attempt this. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so I'm gonna give the... Let's see. I still have the eject button left. Could I use that somehow? Probably not. Yeah, no. Yeah, because I need... If I want Suicune to go for Scald, I need to sacrifice Golisopod. Yeah, so here's what we're gonna try. I'm gonna try... Let's see, who has the scarf? Let's see, we'll take the Iron Ball. Where's my choice? What happened to my choice scarf? What? What? What the heck happened to my choice scarf? Why is it? It's not in my inventory. It didn't get knocked off at any point. What the heck? Finland, button, expert belt, check button, extra Sherman's list. Where the hell's my choice scarf? It's in here? Can I not read? Let me see. Silk scarf. Oh, there it is. Why is it all the way up here? That's really weird. Alright, we'll give that to Urshifu. Let's use some Leppas. Appreciate you guys pointing that out. I was losing my mind. Alright, so Leppa Berry for Wicked Blow. Leppa Berry for Close Combat. Close Combat here. Knock off. And for Draining Kiss. Alright, and then I'm gonna give the Life Orb to mean, I guess in this point, I don't know if Life Orb is as worth it. Yeah, because I'm not outspeeding anything without Tailwind. But, I mean, I still needed it for damaging rolls. Yeah. So let's go, and we'll give Life Orb to Prim. Alright, and then we're gonna leave Glacia at exactly 40 HP. So Rushel, this is Pokemon Run&Bun. Sorry, I'm not chatting too much. I'm just I'm playing through an attempt that's falling apart, so it's hard to concentrate. Alright, let's see. $65, $64, $63, $62, $61. Alright. 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40. Alright, well. We're not gonna win this fight, but we'll do what we can. Yeah, this is pre-calced, but I lost 2 of my Mons on the first fight, so this is essentially a losing attempt at this point. But I made it past all the way past Glacia, so yeah. Whatever happens, I mean, this was still a fun attempt. I'm really glad I was able to get this far, but I think this is where it's gonna end. So yeah, we tried our best. Yeah, let's do this. Alright. Drake doubles, baby. Alright, so here's Drake doubles. This is the scariest fight out of all the Elite Four fights because this Dragapult has both Light Screen and Reflect, and is holding a Focus Sash. And the Suicune has Tailwind, Calm Mind, and Leftovers with a maxed out defense stat. So, yeah. And then these aren't even the scariest guys on the team, at least in my opinion. Originally, I was going to, if I had Gliscor live, I was gonna bait a Scald from the Suicune, so that it doesn't set up a Tailwind, it only goes for Scald. And I would have swapped into Gliscopod to emergency exit and use another Jaboka on the Dragapult. But at this point, I'm just gonna sacrifice my Golisopod and break the Focus Sash on the Dragapult by going for a Sucker Punch instead. And this guarantees that Suicune doesn't set up a Tailwind on this turn. And then with a Choice Band, close combat from Sneasler, always 2 shots to Suicune even after leftovers health. So we'll sacrifice Ramstein here and go for a close combat. Yeah, Shadow Ball. So Shadow Ball is actually bad there because now Dragapult's not guaranteed to use well, I guess after the after the Scald, Dragapult will always go for an attack. So we bring in Urshifu. And with the Focus Sash broken off of Dragapult's, we can KO with a Sucker Punch, because after that Scald, Dragapult is guaranteed to attack and not set up screens. So we can out-prioritize KO the Dragapults, and another close combat will take out the Suicune. Alright, so this was, at this point, this was the intended route. So now we should always see Charizard. Well, actually, since I have Scarf on Shifu, it's not going to be Charizard. This will probably be Zekrom, I'm assuming. Let me see. Yeah, Zekrom, and it should be Zygarde. Yeah. So part of the plan here was that originally I wanted to bait in both Charizard and Zekrom next at this point, because Zygarde comes in, and because Sneasler is faster, and Zygarde sees a KO with extreme speed, it's always going to go for that over any other move, since I'm faster. Charizard would have been in at this point and would have seen a fast KO on my Urshifu with Hurricane. And I would have done some switching. This is the point where I would have sacrificed my Gliscor to get a safe switch back in. But now it's Zekrom, so let me see what this thing is going to do here. I believe it doesn't see a KO on... it should never see KO on Zekrom. But we'll always see a KO on Sneasler. With a random move at this point. At this point, I could try swapping in. If it's not Bolt's... if it's not Bolt Beak, then I could swap into Primarina. But now it's like it's a 1 in 3. So, but I think I have to do that here. I think I need to, let me see. Yeah, I also need to reset the move on Shifu. So, can't really swap Shifu this turn. I could also just try to get, well, actually no, Sneasler's always dead to Extreme Speed. So, yeah, I think this is wrapped, fellas. There's not really much more I could do at this point. Alright, So I'm going to get some damage off on the Zekrom with another Sucker Punch since I'm locked into that, and swap in Primarina on hopefully a Dragon move. Nice, Draco Meteor. Alright, so now, Zekrom will always be targeting a Primarina with Bolt's Beak. And I think it's random move for Zygarde at this point. It should never bulk up, but yeah, I need to lock Urshifu out of Rock Tomb or Sucker Punch. So I'm gonna swap to Sneasler. Let Primarina die. And then do some damage before we go out. Bolt Strike. Thousand Waves by Sneasler. Alright, one more hit for the road. Wicked Blow till we're out. It's been a pleasure. Yep. Alright, and that's it, fellas. Thank you for your valiant efforts. We tried our best. Well, we did what we could, but didn't end up working out. But we made it super far. We made it further than I thought we would after Sidney. So, I mean, I guess I could show off to you guys what I would have intended on doing for Drake doubles. If you guys would be interested in that. Because I did have a really good plan for it. But yeah, I don't know if I have it in me. So yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna leave Run&Bun to rest. So I'll try to show it off. I might as well. Let me see. Let me just do this really quick so I can show you guys what it would have looked like. So at this point the run's over, but I'm just gonna try showing off what my intended plan was for this. Oh, actually, I don't think it works because I needed a... I would needed a regular revive, not a max revive. Yeah, because I needed Gliscor pre-damaged. So. I don't even know. I don't even think I could actually show it still. Yeah. Yeah, because the damage that Gliscor would have taken from Phoebe would have been enough for my pre-damaging for this fight. But because it's KO'd and I didn't have any regular revives, I can't pre-damage it at this point. But I guess I'll use the Leo's. I'll just use the Lua script. I can show you guys. What the hey? I want to show this off because I think this is a really cool line. So for this fight, my plan was Gliscor was gonna be at 204 HP. Yeah. Also, by the way, really appreciate everyone tuning in to watch along with me. Really means a lot. Appreciate people tuning in despite not winning, but I made it pretty far, so I'm satisfied with that. But let's just show off this Drake doubles for the road. So damage Gliscor to 204 HP. Alright, cool. We wanted Sneasler at 252. And we needed Gliscopod at 192. And then the items I was going to use was another Jaboka Berry on Felicipod. We were gonna do let's see, Muscle Band on Urshifu. We were gonna do Iron Ball on Gliscor. And Life Orb on Primarina. Let's see, do we already have that here? Yeah, good. Got Muscle Band, Choice Band, Jaboka. And then Choice Scarf on Hydreigon. Yeah, I do. I have a Rock Tomb on Urshifu. That was part of my plan. And let's see. Choice Scarf on you, and then teach him Tailwind. We'll teach that over Aura Sphere. The lead was Gliscor slot 1, Sneasler slot 2. Alright, so let's see if I cooked with this one. I'm very curious to see if I actually pulled off a riskless line on this fight. Let me check. Yeah, I already healed their PP. Alright, so this is what my original plan was for Drake doubles. Alright, so again, same lead, Dragapult, Suicune. So my original plan here was to guarantee that Dragapult didn't go for screens. Sneasler is slightly pre-damaged to show that it gets KO'd by always Dragon Darts, but in doubles, it only hits once per side. So Sneasler guaranteed lives one Dragon Dart, and with an Iron Ball equipped on my Gliscor at this HP, I'm slower than the Suicune, and it sees a fast KO always with Scald. So because it sees a fast KO, it'll never use Tailwind on this turn. So what this allows me to do is swap to Golisopod for Gliscor to take both the Scald and the Dragon Dart. The Dragon Dart would proc the Jaboka, breaking Dragapult's Focus Sash and doing enough damage to proc an emergency exit. And then again, just like I did before, Choice Banded, Close Combat, always two shots Suicune, even through leftovers. Yeah, so there's the darts. Sneasel always lives one. We take one. We proc the Jaboka. Oh. I emergency exited too early there. I should have taken the Scald before I emergency exited. Oh, well. Wu-Tang, don't get burned. It's... Yeah, I think I messed up the HP on that. But I think it's fine. Alright, so from here with the Dragapult's Focus Sash broken, I can now always KO with a Sucker Punch. And another close combat KOs the Suicune. Alright, so now in this position with these two taken out, this will always bring in both Charizard and Zygarde. Yeah. Yeah, so this was what I was intended. Charizard comes in because it's faster than Urshifu and sees a KO, always with Hurricane. Let me see. What HP am I at? 203? Yeah, I guess it could also be Aura Sphere too. So my plan here, I was, at this point, gonna intentionally sack Gliscor here so I could get a free switch. So I'm gonna swap to Gliscor. There was a chance that Gliscor could have lived if that he could live, or she lives if Hurricane misses twice in a row, which actually doesn't mess up the line. So We'll see if that happens. And again, Zygarde is always guaranteed to Extreme Speed Sneasler. So I'm going to swap that into for a Hydreigon. So we should see Extreme Speed, yep, into Zygarde. And then Hurricane, yep, that was expected. So this was the planned sacrifice for Gliscor. Because what this allows me to do is I can bring Urshifu back in safely. And then from here, because I taught Tailwind to Hydreigon, and I'm holding a Choice Scarf, which allows me to outspeed the Charizard here. I'll set up a Tailwind, which will activate Dynamic Speed for my Urshifu, allowing me to outspeed and one-shot with a Muscle Band boosted Rock Tomb. So Tailwind will set up, making us faster and take out the Charizard. And Zygarde here always sees that Hydreigon shows a fast KO with Draco Meteor, so again, Zygarde has to use Extreme Speed again on Hydreigon this turn. Yeah, so there's the E-Speed. We set up Tailwinds. We get Dynamic Speed, and we take out the Charizard. Yeah. So that's all. That was all perfectly intended here. So now this should always bait in the Zekrom. Which unfortunately at this point, because I messed up the HP on Golisopod, Urshifu wasn't intended to be damaged here. So I am showing a KO from Zekrom with Draco Meteor. So it could either 50-50 either side. So I just gotta hope it doesn't do that. We Wicked Blow once and hope that Hydreigon goes for a Dragon move into my Primarina. Let's see. Target the Prim slot, please. Perfect. Alright, so then oh, I wonder why I went for Breaking Shot there. I shouldn't have done that. I should have always gone for Extreme Speed. I don't know why. I showed a fast KO with a Draco Meteor. Oh, well, that ruins my plan, so yeah. Well, actually, no, it doesn't, because Wicked Blow is guaranteed crit, so I can Sucker Punch, deal some damage to Zygarde, which should still always, because Primarina shows a KO with Life Orb boosted Moonblast, it should again always be Extreme Speeding. So I can get the KO with Draining Kiss to heal from the Extreme Speed after I take the hit here. Yeah, so there's an E-Speed. We get the KO with Sucker Punch. I mean, Draining Kiss. And then this leaves a Mega Salamence, which again, Intimidate doesn't matter here because we're using Wicked Blow, which is a guaranteed crit. So We still outspeed because of Tailwind, and Wicked Blow plus Draining Kiss always KOs. And again, Zygarde will always go for Extreme Speed into Primarina. Yeah, so Extreme Speed again. We take that. And then Wicked Blow. And Draining Kiss. So, Mega Silence down. This just leaves the Zygarde left. Our Tailwind peters out. Which is perfectly fine, because now I believe what we could the plan was yeah, just taking this out, we can just sweep up from here. So we can go again, Wicked Blow. Actually, we'll Rock Tomb. So yeah, the plan was to Rock Tomb so that Primarina would be faster. And then we go for a Moonblast. Yep, there we go. So, that was my partially intended plan for beating Drake doubles. Yeah, if I didn't mess up the HP on Golisopod there, I would have been perfectly riskless. Which I don't think I think we were still fine there, even with the damage. It was just the possibility of Draco Meteor from Zekrom on Urshifu, but yeah, that was what I had planned to do, which I wish I could have been able to done in my actual attempt, but what can you do? Alright, well, yeah, it's getting a little late for me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it there, because, yeah, I think that's enough for me. But, again, like I said, really appreciate everyone who tuned in to watch, fellow people who play Run&Bun. Yeah, wish this could have been my winning attempt, but we made it this far. At this point, I don't plan on doing another attempt on Run&Bun anytime soon, because I already invested so much time into it, and I want to move on to other things. But yeah, I still plan on streaming. Maybe Pokemon Null or Pokemon Platkaizo, since those just came out. I want to try some new stuff. So yeah, if y'all like this, feel free to follow, and if you want to continue watching some more of my streams. But if not, appreciate everyone being here. Wish everyone a great rest of their day, and yeah. Hopefully we'll see people next time. Alright. Take care.